You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio on ESPN Radio 1700. Now, live in studio, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content this morning, please join me in welcoming our featured guests and repeat offenders, both of them. Brent Humpherys, Humpherys Homes and Estates. Welcome, Brent.
Good morning.
Glad to have you with us. Chris Megison, Solutions for Change. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, welcome, Ron. Good to be here.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Welcome to the roller coaster. I don't know if, I know, yes, we are on ESPN AM 1700, broadcasting later in the day on NBC. But I'm just going to refer to it as the roller coaster. The reason I'm saying is the roller coaster is, boy, last day of the month, what do you expect from the markets other than a roller coaster? And we were down about 200 points earlier today. We've gained almost all of it back. Now we're heading south again. The mortgage-backed securities, they're flat. They were down, about 6 basis points, 0.06%. They're flat now. Flat. I better not say any jokes about flat because that'll only get me in serious trouble.
Or give you an opportunity to run for president.
Or what?
Or give you an opportunity to run for president.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you saw that same thing from the wonderful what do they call it? The VFM Awards or the Goofy Awards where the lunatics all come out. It was Kanye West said he's going to run for president in 2016.
Ouch.
I would suggest that I would be willing to bet my neighbor's house. I'm really generous that way. But I'll bet my neighbor's house he's irrelevant in 2020, no less running for president in 2020. Who really cares what he has to say other than Miley Cyrus? And I wouldn't let my nieces, my mother, or anybody else that I liked watch that piece of trash. Unbelievable that they really have an award show for that garbage. Unreal. I guess I digress. Gas prices, that's some good news. You have to bring up some good news here. The national average, $2.47 a gallon. Here in the state of confusion, we're paying $3.35 a gallon on average. I was able to pay $2.89, I believe, over the weekend over there at Costco. San Diego Gas Buddy, I think that's the name of the gas prices. I always get it wrong, Steve. I'm not even close, probably. Pipe in, Steve, if you can help me out with that one.
SanDiegoGasPrices.com.
San Diego Gas Prices. You'd think I'd put it on my notes, right, so I could eventually remember it. But we've got Steve looking out for me, covering my back. SanDiegoGasPrices.com. You can get some great gas prices. Check up on the market. I would venture to guess you're not going to find them, even on SanDiegoGasPrices.com, anywhere close to the national average. $2.47 a gallon here in the state of confusion. We like to pay more taxes. And you know something? I think maybe what we should do, wouldn't it be fair to petition the President of the United States to change the name of our state? Well, he's going to change unilaterally the name of Mount McKinley to Denali, so couldn't he just change us to the state of confusion? You know, we're kind of confused here as to what we want to do. We like the idea of taxes. I did note that the state Senate voted to raise the smoking age to 21 And California voters are overwhelmingly backing a $2 a pack increase in cigarette tax. Now, I am not a fan of cigarettes. I'm not a fan of smoking. I enjoy the fact that we can breathe in the state of confusion most of the time. But the thing that I'm less a fan of is the loons in Sacramento and in Washington, because there's always unintended consequences with everything they do. If the cigarettes are legal, don't tax them crazy. If they're not legal, then, just enforce the law. Wait a second. This is the Obama administration, the Department of Justice. They enforce the laws only that they wish to enforce. Speaking of which, California, there is a new bit of, I don't know, you can't call it legislation because, we do kind of weird things here in the state of confusion, but I know that the latest concept here is California has a new approach on the drought. I don't know if you've been following this one. Only in California. California Department of Fish and Wildlife. They've got a helicopter that's circling over steep timberland in Humboldt County. Now, you may or may not be aware of what Humboldt County is known for mostly. But I don't think it's $2 a pack on their cigarettes. They've got no tax on theirs. But here's the issue: is it's obviously the marijuana capital of the state, and they're looking at how much water they're using up in Humboldt County. We're all being rationed down here in the lowlands, but Humboldt, they get to do whatever they want with their water usage. We'll see if the state of confusion has any say on that one, if they do anything about it.
So, Ron, we're able to they can water their grass, but we can't water ours?
That's exactly it. This is the state of confusion. You're allowed to do those kind of things. It's very, very interesting. And I got to bring this up. We've got the Ask Your Mortgage Advocate segment brought to you by VIP Mortgage, our friends over there. And sometimes they get on my case when I bring up some of this stuff. They usually like me to talk about guidelines and things that are really boring. But my blood was boiling over this weekend listening to some of these infomercials that are on radio stations around Southern California. One of them happens to be my favorite country music station. Yes, I do enjoy country music. I don't have to worry about some of the words they're using. I understand most of them. I don't have to worry about this rap crap that that is on some of these other stations. I haven't heard Kanye worst on any of the country music stations that I listen to. But here's the issue, is on the one station they're talking about precisely that the Federal Reserve is going to be increasing interest rates at their meeting in September. And it is a bunch of hogwash. They're telling you have to call them right now to get your mortgage refinanced before the Federal Reserve increases their interest rates in September. Well, here is the facts of the matter for the pinheads over on that radio broadcast, and a couple of them. And I know you probably say, Ron, if it's such baloney, why do you listen? And the answer is very simple. I bill myself as your consumer advocate. How can I tell you what some of these pinheads are doing if I don't listen to what they're saying and then come on here and tell you what's the facts of life, the facts of the matter? Does anybody know if the Federal Reserve is going to increase interest rates at their meeting in September 16th? I would suggest to you absolutely not. Nobody knows. Janet Yellen, here's one thing that I can tell you. The Federal Reserve does not like to surprise the markets. They like to telegraph what they're doing. The markets like to follow and kind of predict. That's what the people on Wall Street do, is try to predict where markets are going. That's how they make their money. So here's the issue. 24% is the prediction on Wall Street that the Federal Reserve will increase interest rates in September. 24%. So when this pinhead is going on telling you that they will be increasing interest rates, I call it bait and switch. They're trying to get you to call them to take action today for something that is probably not going to happen. Think about it. It's just wrong. They should not be doing that. Now, should you be taking action? I suggest maybe you should be. I don't know that answer. Neither do they. If you're paying too much for your interest, yes, you should take action. But don't do it based on a false premise. Do it because it's what's right for your family. not because what's right for some pinhead with some company that's going on and giving you bum information. So the Federal Reserve, here's what they had a big meeting in Jackson Hole. They do it every year at this time. The results of the meeting, there's no clear path for the Federal Reserve in September. No clear path. Former Fed Vice Chairman Alan Blinder, his comments were, there's no consensus in the Federal Reserve. He also went on to say if Janet Yellen knew, here's the quote, if they knew they'd already be giving strong hints, you'd have heard something from Janet Yellen, Federal Reserve Chairman, pushing in September-ish or December-ish direction. We've heard nothing like that. The Minneapolis Fed president, no rate increase. Think about that. That's what the Federal Reserve presidents are saying, yet this pinhead is telling you that they're doing something different. No, they're not. If it's right for your family, that makes sense. If you want some more information to see if it's right for your family, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I will put you in touch with the people at VIP Mortgage. They will help you. They will give you the correct information, not the bait and switch. And if you're looking at buying a house, they've got a guide that they've let me publish for you. Text HBG, Home Buyer's Guide, pretty simple, HBG to 79564. You'll get a free copy of that. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. I went over with my rant today, so stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
Ron Siegel Radio Date Night Trivia, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Friday, Ron will pose a question based on-air conversations during the prior 7 programs. The person to post the answer according to the guest conversation will win a date night package, including a dinner gift card for Reunion Kitchen and Drink. You might even be able to say hi to Ron when you visit Reunion Kitchen and Drink.
UDirect IRA Services has helped thousands of Americans invest their IRA outside of the stock market into real estate, land, private notes, and more to improve their financial future. UDirect IRA is a third-party administrator providing complete and accurate information on self-directed IRAs so you can make the most of your retirement funds. Educating individual investors and professionals is the cornerstone of UDirect IRA. We have events right here in Southern California geared towards self-directed investing. We also offer webinars, so no matter where you are, you can learn to earn.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today brought to you by Commerce for a Cause. Great organization, Commerce for a Cause. Do you take credit cards? Do you have a business? Let me ask you this. What would happen if every time you took a credit card, business or charity or anything, think about this. If you took a credit card, what would happen if they matched any rate that you had? Somebody matched the rate that you have, and then they gave a 20% rebate to the charity of your choice. 20% rebate to the charity of your choice. I think that's a pretty good deal. Well, they're kind of tied in with some big organizations, probably the biggest companies in the country. So that's why they can do that for you. And if you've got a nonprofit organization, they'd be even better for you because there's some other opportunities there that they don't even talk about. Can't mention them on air. Commerce for a Cause, great group. I'm suggesting that if you haven't talked to them, they would be a great opportunity for you. It's only if you're philanthropic. If you're not philanthropic, don't talk to them. Interesting concept. Homeownership, best way to build wealth. Housing market has made a strong recovery, not only in sales and prices, but also in the confidence of consumers. Experts around here. Homeownership and wealth creation. Here's the New York Times article. Quote, homeownership long has been central to Americans' ability to amass wealth. Even with the substantial decline in wealth after the housing bust, the net worth of homeowners over time has significantly outpaced that of renters who tend as a group to accumulate little, if any, wealth. Study found average net worth of a homeowner, $194,500. $194,500. Average net worth of a homeowner. These are national numbers. Think about that as well, because in Southern California, we might have higher numbers than that. Average net worth of a renter? Hold on tight, $5,400. They are missing a couple of digits there, according to this report. Now, the other issue that I want to share with you is, let's think about this one. If we take and use some projections going forward from the National Association of Realtors, the Federal Reserve Research projected, but by the end of 2015, the average homeowner will have nearly 41 times the net worth of a renter. Interesting numbers. Large discrepancy. Bottom line, quote, as a means to building wealth, there is no practical substitute for homeownership, unquote. If you are a renter who is considering making a purchase, sit with a local real estate professional who can explain the benefits of signing a contract to purchase over renewing your lease. I wouldn't renew that lease. I would talk to that. Now, you may have to, because I was just listening to a gentleman who deals a lot in rentals in Orange County. And I don't know if this is the same in San Diego County, Riverside County, San Bernardino. I don't know their statistics quite as well. He was telling me that in Orange County, 92% occupancy rate. 92%. Which is basically full occupancy, because there's going to be those people who decide they're going to move out at the end of the month, and the unit has to be cleaned and painted and new carpeting prepped for the next renter. So at 92%, you're basically full occupancy. Now, according to the very simple law, I'm a simple guy, very simple law of supply and demand, guess what? If there is no supply and there is demand, prices go up. Just my comment to you for today. That is the Word on Wealth segment, again brought to you by Commerce for a Cause. Speaking of for a cause, I get very excited to share with you a great cause that Brent Humpherys introduced me to this cause. And you know me, I like to get behind helping. I feel very, very blessed every single day that I get to come on radio and chat with people. And, you know, we live in a great country, and I'm really honored that I'm able to share some information. September 19th An Evening to Remember with Our American Heroes. Solutions for Change is the organization. And we're going to chat with Chris Megison right now about the organization, the cause, and how you can help, whether you are in the area or not. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, Ron, good to be here.
So tell us a little bit about Solutions for Change. What is the organization? Who are you benefiting?
Yeah, thanks. So got out of the Marine Corps right after the first Gulf War, 93, and experienced another big battle here on our home front here with homelessness, and decided that, I was going to try to do something about it. It's a big, complex problem. But what I quickly learned was it's not so much that we have a bunch of homeless people, it's that our design is wrong. In other words, the battle plan itself that our country is using is a failed battle plan. And I saw that very quickly in that, we built the entire battle plan around what I call symptom relief. So in other words, if you see a hurting, lost, homeless person who's begging for food and money, if you just give that person food and you give that person a shelter bed and you give that person a hug, it's going to make you feel good. But then the next day, the guy's going to be hungry and lonely and cold. And I saw this happening on huge levels, like, multi-million-dollar Band-Aid kind of levels. And it really, frankly, Ron, it ticked me off because I'm a patriot. I'm American. I love our country and I love our freedoms. Yet what I saw was just this massive problem that was being treated with this enabling, more codependent kind of approach. So I decided to do something about it. And for years I was helping homeless men. And then in 1999, this little girl walked up to me in a homeless shelter. She pulled on my sleeve and she asked me if I lived on the floor with her baby sister and her mom. And I got down on one knee and I looked at her and I was like, sweetheart, I don't live here, but I'm going to make you a promise. I'm going to do everything I can to get you out of this place and back into a home. And she kind of teared up, and I'd be lying to you if I told you I didn't tear up. As a Marine, you're not supposed to do that, but sometimes you can't help it.
As a human, you do.
As a human, you do. And so we gave each other a hug, and in that moment, that little girl, Jessica, she didn't know that she was going to launch a movement, and she did, because North San Diego County rallied around us at Solutions for Change. And we just said, you know what? We're not going to settle for, soup kitchen lines and shelter beds and Band-Aids. We're going to try to solve this thing. And since then, we've moved over 1,450 kids and 800 families out of these horrible situations, but not just for a few months or 6 months, permanently solved it. How'd we do that? We invented this thing called Get a Job. And so we, as simple as that sounds, there's so many people out there that get these checks in the mail with the United States Treasury stamped in the top left corner, and they think, hey, that's cool. But the more we started working with people, the more we found that if we could help equip them with the skills, knowledge, and resources that they need, they could solve this thing permanently, not only for themselves, but for their kids who are being set up as the next generation of people in deep poverty or even worse, even homelessness. So as a result of that, we got some interesting people starting to pay attention to us, and we've had a number of events. I want to share a little bit with you about what's coming up there, but we got a lot of folks in North County that have landed around a redesign on how you see and deal with the problem of homelessness. And I got to tell you, man, I have been doing this for now almost a quarter century in my life. But when I get a chance to hang out with guys like Brent Humpherys here, who introduced us to you and others, I got to tell you, there's a whole, another guy about 8 years ago talked about hope and change. And it didn't work out too well, I don't think.
Absolutely.
But the word hope, the concept of hope, is still something very much that our people are hungry for. And I think that when you start, you can execute on the word hope in one way, or you can execute it on another way. And Solutions for Change is basically executing on it in a way that says, how about we go back to those days gone by where we serve and sacrifice for each other? How about we, the people, come together shoulder to shoulder? And how about we solve this problem instead of the government saying that they're going to fix broken lives? Last time I checked, the little experiment launched by LBJ in the 1950s, that's about 20 trillion in right now. The government can't fix broken. The government can do a lot of things. It can do a lot of things that we need, but it can't fix broken lives, man. And so what can fix broken lives is you get shoulder to shoulder with people, and you just start coming around them, around the principles and what made this country great. And so that's what the event coming up and a lot of things that we're doing here is around that call to action. Yeah.
Something that's great to hear this, because I've been known to get on a stool and stump about people working hard together. And I've been known to get on a stool and say the government can't do these things. It's too big. It's like trying to turn a aircraft carrier on a dime. It just doesn't work. As an organization, though, you're able to say, something, that little girl, Jessica, you can help Jessica. Call Washington. They have no clue who Jessica is. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. But they cannot help Jessica because they don't know who Jessica is. You can get in there and say, Jessica, okay, what I want to do is I want to get you into a house. I want to get you a job. I want to show you how to pay rent. I want to show you how to own a house. I want to show you how to get in touch with a great real estate person. You can do that one person at a time, and maybe if you get enough Chris's who help Jessica, we can get rid of this homeless issue throughout the country. We're going to talk more about it because I'm passionate about it. I can obviously see you are, and thank goodness Brent came in, and we might even let him talk today, but we're not sure yet. But at least he introduced us so we can all chat about this and see if we can solve a problem without this hope and change crap. We're going to hope and plan and do it. No more hope. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, more with Chris Megison. Brent Humpherys is in the house with us. You can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552. Southern California attorneys have over 15,000 real estate agents to call in Orange County for their personal and professional needs. Why do they overwhelmingly call Melinda Johnson? Simple. It's the Melinda Johnson trifecta. Melinda is an attorney, real estate broker, and realtor. Does your family deserve the same professional services California lawyers demand? Call Melinda Johnson at 714-863-5485. That's 714-863-5485. Or on the web at freedomfirstproperties.com.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We are continuing our conversation. Chris Megison is in the house, Solutions for Change, chatting about their event coming up. We're going to talk in depth about the upcoming event with Chris. Brent Humpherys is in the house. Humpherys Homes and Estates, graciously coming in here on short notice. Now we're spending all our time talking to Chris. But I know that you are a big supporter as well. I was going to say you're a short supporter, but big supporter.
Ouch. I love that you say in the house. The more times you say in the house, it's great for business. Phones ring.
Phones ring. Good deal. And now I understand why you're so passionate about Solutions for Change. I mean, that was some great information that Chris shared with us. Just getting out there and working in the community. It's Chris, you said you're a Marine?
Yes.
Doesn't surprise me. It's just amazing how so many of our military men and women, they come back and they really, we had I've had a gentleman on, Larry Broughton. He's an Orange County businessman and a former or retired Special Reserves. And he says, everybody should there should be a mandatory duty in the United States of America that every man, woman, and child is required to serve. And he doesn't say serve from the sense of military necessarily, but to serve. And, maybe it could be picking up trash along the side of the freeway. It could be helping with homelessness. It could be, you name it. There's probably as many ideas for ways of serving as there are people in this country. And when you come out and share with us the way you did in the last segment, the passion for this, I'm going to throw I don't usually throw questions at people that I don't know the answer to or have a good sense of the answer, but I'm going to try anyway. What the heck? Do you have any contact with Jessica to this day?
About 4 years ago, I ran into her at 7-Eleven, and I was like, there's Jessica, and we talked for a little bit. And like a dummy, I was in a hurry, so I didn't get her phone number. But she's out there, and she was in college. So Jessica was only 9 years old when she was holding her baby sister, and her mom was spreading out the bedroll on the floor. So she was in college, and I got to tell you, I mean, the ultimate, evidence of success for us, for these kids is can we rebuild and reshape a new future for them that includes, that higher education? And so we do that with a lot of our kids, man. A lot of our kids go from a really bleak reality to then a future filled with all kinds of hope and promise, and going from barely making it in grade school to then college. And we've done that for hundreds of kids over the last 15 years.
Something, it's such a great story just because that's what made this country so great. And I'm not saying that I'm not on the Trump bandwagon when I say that, but it's made this country so great is the fact of people having a dream and a challenge and a mission as opposed to an entitlement. Getting, who's going to give me my next meal? Who's going to give me? And, that's just not what we were, I think that's called Russia, isn't it? Right? Or China. You can go over there and they'll give you whatever you want. They'll tell you where to work. This country, that's not what we're about. It's about getting up and standing up and not only doing what's great for you and your family, but for your brother and sister.
That's right. I love what you said about service. And, if you look at the foundation of this country, it's about serving for the sake of others. You sacrifice, like you work a long day, you're coming home, and you're walking down the road to your home, and you look over and you see Mary's light's always on at dusk, and it's not on. So you go check on Mary. People help each other. They serve each other. They sacrifice. That's what made us a great country. And today, we have gone so far away from that, where it's give me mines and what's in it for me and the whole thing. But it's even beyond that, Ron. We've gone down the slippery slope, and if we don't get traction and we don't start standing up and we don't start pushing back, homelessness is gonna cripple us. Right now there's a new federal program that says, we can't solve it, but you know what? We'll just give people free, no strings attached apartments, and that's happening right now. It's gaining a lot of momentum, and they're using the veterans as a way to advance really socialism housing. I mean, it's
That's just wrong.
It's just wrong. So solutions for change. I mean, we're like, we're probably if you look at this thing as a battle, we got this little renegade camp in San Diego in the corner of the country, and we just we are not going to give into that model. The problem is that the government has all the money, basically. They're slamming billions into this thing. So solutions is like this we're one of the lowest government-funded organizations in the entire state. Only 15% of our funds come from the government, and that's disappearing. So essentially, we are going to be we're going to get our money from the private sector and from social enterprise. I love capitalism. I think it's a great thing. And so what if we could create businesses that do good for people at the same time generating revenue? And so we've done that to a big degree with our aquaponics farming operation, largest aquaponics farming operation in Southern California, growing top food, selling it to the school districts, kids eating the best food they could, that revenue going back into changing lives at Solutions for Change. That's just one of our social enterprises. It's my favorite one. But anyway, so yeah, the event coming up, and I know I'm going to take all Brent's time. And
It's okay. Just keep solving it.
But I would like to talk a little bit about the event when you're ready.
Yeah, we're gonna absolutely talk a lot about the event, but and you've got some great speakers coming, but something, we're gonna hold that off because you've had some awesome speakers. You've had Condoleezza Rice, Laura Bush, Dr. Ben Carson, Rudy Giuliani in the past. Tough acts to follow, but we're gonna do that. Another person helping solve. I'm gonna share with you, Chris. There is another gentleman up in. He's in Los Angeles County. He's actually semi-involved in the projects that you're talking about, but he's also a military gentleman, 70% service disabled, and talking about the veterans housing vouchers. But he's got the same mission because he is a veteran, and the thought process is most veterans, they don't want handouts. They want hand up, right? That's kind of the veteran mentality that I've come across. And give those veterans a house. That's fine. But also give them a game plan. Okay, so you've got the house now over your head, so you're not sleeping on the floor. I want to help you get a job. I want to help you get your credit repaired. And then I want to get a hold of Brent Humpherys to help you get a house.
That's right.
Think about that. Doesn't that sound like a game plan?
That sounds like a good game plan. And when you put Brent Humpherys in any kind of game plan, you're going to win.
Right.
So because he's going to help you get into something that he did that for me, right? I mean, Brent Humpherys helped me find my home, and you talk about your dream home. Well, sometimes you run into the dream guy or the dream gal that gets you into the home, and for Brent, man, an amazing guy. I mean, it wasn't just like buying a home is pretty stressful, but this guy here took away so much of that stress for us.
We better be careful because we're not going to be able to get him in the room soon. but it is something you are so correct.
Thank you.
You are so correct, Chris, because I get to chat with a lot of people, and I know Brent. I kind of I kid him a lot, but Barracuda, right? Because I mean, when you get onto things, you really push, and I can't imagine. I don't live in the San Diego community, but I can't imagine with some of your clients that they're in good hands. I mean, they got a Barracuda working for them day and night. I like the idea, but the balance, right? I mean, working with an organization like Solutions for Change, Sundays no work, family time.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the things that instill values to people, and can be a role model for people also.
Well, we only got one shot here. We got to make it count.
Absolutely. So you're like bringing up the rear. I'm gonna being that I don't want to get you to thinking that you're oversized here.
Yeah.
So, but bringing up the rear. So you're like the last step in this whole process. You got to find people houses. How you doing with it?
Yeah. Doing very well. The market is great. San Diego, just according to Kay Schiller, outperformed the country nationally. Homes that were tracked, resale of the same home, right, in the 20 metro areas, 4.5%. San Diego creeped in, 4.6% year-over-year growth, which is great.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
4.6%, and we didn't even talk about the idea that that's leveraged, right? I mean, because if you're looking at investment standpoint, 4.6 times if you put
Each 100,000, you got $4,600 growing.
right, but you only use 10,000 of your own money
That's right.
because if you did down 10% down payment, that way I can do the math a little easier.
You think about it, if you go to the bank and you say how much for interest, and it's way better than any other bank, and the bank says if you make $1 deposit, we'll make $9 more, and it's your money and it's going to grow, and you're going to get it when you exit. Who wouldn't take that deal?
Unbelievable. The one problem that we have when we talk to you, Brent?
What's that?
We're always short on time.
Oh, there
And they're
you
sitting
go. The
there-
short word again.
They're throwing the notes at me saying, Ron, you got to get moving on with it. So we're going to take a quick break, come back, and talk more with Brent Humpherys, Chris Megison. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing real estate, current events, financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few. I love Solutions for Change. They're dedicated to solving family homelessness, one family, one community at a time. They do beautiful work, truly changing lives. They're a big event of the year. It's the 5th annual Gala, an evening to remember with our American heroes, Saturday, September 19th in the Jet Source hangar at the Carlsbad Airport. It's going to be awesome. Taya Kyle, author and widow of Chris Kyle from American Sniper, is going to be the main speaker. Joining Taya will be Navy SEAL and former pro football player Clint Bruce, and I have the honor of attending the festivities as well. Jeffrey Strauss from Pamplemouse Grill will be catering the evening. There's going to be a hosted craft cocktail reception, live entertainment, silent and live auction, all to raise money for Solutions for Change. Tickets are available. Please grab them as soon as possible. I'd love to see you there. 760-941-6545. That's 760-941-6545 or solutionsforchange.org.
Do you have a loved one who wants to stay in their home but you have health concerns about it? The Preferred Care team understands the challenges of caring for your loved ones. Their goal is to keep seniors as independent as possible while maintaining their health, safety, and overall well-being. Whether you need just a few hours a week or 24-hour care, Preferred Care caregivers are trained to meet your needs. Call Preferred Care at 714-696-9150. That's 714-696-9150. Or visit preferredcare.com.
Attention homeowner 62 and older. Do you worry if you can afford to keep your home? Are you concerned about paying all your monthly expenses? Or do you simply wish you could live a better retirement? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you may qualify for a program that can help. It's called FHA Reverse Mortgage. It's insured by the federal government. You'll receive tax-free money. You aren't required to make any monthly mortgage payments, and you still own your home. Siegel Lending Team is a local leader in FHA reverse mortgages. Call free to get your free reverse mortgage guide, free custom quote. And when you call now, you can get all your questions answered by local experts. There is no monthly mortgage payment and tax-free money you can use for healthcare expenses, home improvements, or just live a better retirement with peace of mind. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-1990 to get your free reverse mortgage guide and quote. You'll also find them on the web at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL lendingteam.com. Call 800-306-1990 now.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
It's not every day your home gets flooded, but when it happens, you've got the good people at A.P.R.I.S. on your side. With over 25 years of construction and insurance experience, they can turn any disaster around, making your home good as new. For 24/7 support, call 844-GO-A.P.R.I.S. or find us on the web at www.apris.me. Day, night, rain, or shine, when it happens to you, you know what to do. Go A.P.R.I.S. Remember, call 844-GO-A.P.R.I.S. That's 844-462-7747.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. You got to look at the schedule for today and see what I can cut out so that we can chat more with our guests today. I guess I better do our featured home, otherwise I get in trouble for that one. 3-bedroom. Oh, they did it again. I always like when I get to chat about featured homes. Krista Lombardi brought this one. 3-bedroom, 1 full, 1 half bath in Oceanside. Love it. Brent, you're a real estate expert. Can you explain to me a half bath? Does that mean you only get to do half your business?
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, speaking of business, there's a pun there.
I don't know.
If you're looking to do your business, a half bath simply has a toilet. No shower, no tub.
Okay. I hope you can wash your hands, though.
You'll have a sink.
Okay, good. Just checking. Excellent opportunity to make this your home. Tons of potential. Investor special. Buyers with do-it-yourself skills. Needs a little bit of care. You know something? I see those famous words, tender, loving care for a home. That tells me, as your consumer advocate, you've got a special loan program for that. Think about this one. 3.5% down on an FHA loan. $1,432 a month with that 4.889 APR, 3.75% interest rate. Taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance, you got to do all that kind of good stuff. But think about this. Whenever you see a home like this with tender, loving care, that reminds me of the FHA 203K program. You get financed it for more money than the property value, and then you get money at the end to do the fix-up work. Think about that one. Our friends over at VIP Mortgage have that available. If you want information about the property, Krista Lombardi, give me a call. I can help you, put you in touch with Krista. If you want to talk about financing, VIP Mortgage, our friends over there will help you with that one as well. That is the featured home today. Let's see what else we can cut out and only chat about what are the essentials. Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. 5 habits successful savers and investors. I'm going to race through these so I can get back to our conversation because I want to talk to them more than this. They set aside today's money for future goals. They stick to their goals. They plan for emergencies. They pay themselves first. They live below their means. Number 6 is not on the list. They give money to their favorite charities, Solutions for Change. Just throwing that in there, being that we're talking to Chris Megison today and talking about Solutions for Change and how you can help out. Let's think about how you can help out. So there's a big event coming up. Chris has been chatting about this one, and he's got a big goals. I mean, we've talked about some of the goals. We talked a little bit I think it was in the second segment today, about the past guests that you've had there. But this isn't about the guests, and it's not about the people in the room. They're just a means to the end. Right? I mean, they're important people, but the real important people, I would suggest, are the beneficiaries. Jessica and her family and the other families that are living on the streets. Maybe they're not even in the shelters. But the way to help them is to join the cause. Solutionsforchange.org/ETR 2015. Evening to Remember 2015. They've got going to raise $1 million in a night. Wow. Brent couldn't even carry all that to the bank. Well, maybe he could try. Tell us about the event a little bit, Chris.
Yeah, so September 19th, we outgrew the North County's largest venue for a black tie kind of fundraising event. We've been doing it at La Costa Resort and Spa, but we've outgrown that. So fortunately, Palomar Airport gave us their 40,000 square foot airplane hangar. And so there is such a thing as a luxury airplane hangar. I never knew that. But we're going to transform that thing into an amazing, epic party. And what we're trying to do here is we're going to bring in some of the country's biggest American heroes. So we've got Taya Kyle, who, as we know now, most of us have seen the movie American Sniper. She's the widow of Chris Kyle. She'll be coming in and she'll be talking to us about her experience. She wrote a book called American Wife. So she's there and she is amazing. I've heard her speak. It's just incredible. We also have Clint Bruce, who's a former Navy SEAL commander, former pro football player, international speaker, amazing gentleman. He is also quite impressive. But all that, and then we're also bringing in some other heroes from around the country, some Medal of Honor winners and so on. You can see all this at solutionsforchange.org. Go there. You can click the link to the event, and you can see it all laid out there. We've got Jeffrey Strauss. He's cooked for 7 presidents. He will be the chef that night, and we are going all out, man. I mean, So when people say, Chris, it's $375, and then I mention Jeffrey Strauss, and you get a chance to see some of these amazing heroes and be part of the night, they're like, $375. And here's the good news: 2 huge investors for Solutions for Change are underwriting the cost of the event. So your $375 or whatever you give that night, you want to get a live auction item or a silent auction item, all of that is going to solve it for families. Our big investors are Bob Baker. Everybody knows the Bob Baker guy up there in North County. So he came in to underwrite half. And then Daryl and Kathy Isa, through their family foundation, have also underwrote half. So it's an evening to remember with our American heroes. It's an opportunity to come together and honor them. But like you said, Ron, it's all about what it's going to do. And we're trying to raise a lot of money for every day that a homeless kid is in our program or a homeless mom is in our program. And right now there's over 500 kids and parents in our place every day. It's $24. So one day, $24. So we're saying buy a day or buy 1,000 days. Or if you got some cash laying around, like, the satchel underneath Brent Humpherys' bed,
Right.
He's got a big satchel in it. You might be able to buy 50,000 days. And we need a lot of those days because you start doing the math, and I'm not going to do that to you right now, but we've got a lot of lives that we're transforming at Solutions for Change. And you start thinking about it, 500 people, it's a 1,000-day journey through the program. It's a big, big deal, and that's why we got to raise well over $1 million that night.
Let me ask you this question, though, Chris, because I love talking about this information, but there are those people that $375 to go to an event like this, even though it's a spectacular event, is not possible. And it brings me back to the days of Jerry Lewis. And, we're almost at Labor Day. Can somebody that has $1 donate?
Yeah, somebody that has $1 can donate. Or get a couple other people and get $3.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
So you can go to the website, and there's a place that you can donate, $1, donate $5. And I don't want to sound like Jerry Lewis. I don't talk that squeaky or whatever, but the idea is it's a great. I'm looking at some of the live auction items. A private jet to Napa. Brent, you like to drink a little wine, right?
Yeah.
Is that your jet that you're donating?
No.
Oh,
You're funny.
Come on, why aren't you donating your jet, Brett?
I don't have a jet.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to have to jet pretty soon. So can we talk about the market really quickly?
Yeah. Luxury villa in Mexico, a Breitling watch. So there's ways. Dinner with Jeffrey Strauss. You don't have to be in the White House for that one?
You don't have to be in the White House.
Brent, do you have a White House that we could use for this, for a dinner?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
There we go. Okay, so we're talking about the market a little bit. 10-day cruise for 2. A lot of great items that we're seeing on here. But again, it's about the kids. It's about the families. It's about the American heroes. So, Brent, you're a big sponsor and a promoter of the event as well.
I've been every year, and my company, Humphreys Homes and Estates, has sponsored at least 1 or 2 tables every year, and we'll be there this year.
That's something in that, and that's what it's all about, right? You and I kid around on air, and I'm really thankful that you're in and you're a good sport that we haven't talked a lot about real estate today.
Okay.
But the idea here is, we're trying to bring in a bunch of new home buyers, right? And the idea of getting a bunch of new home buyers is by getting them off the ground, out of homelessness, onto a plan, and then buying houses.
That's right.
And building lives and making our state, our country great. And that's what this is really all about. I am so pleased that you shared this vision with me, because I'm in Orange County most of the time. I'm in Inland Empire. I'm in San Diego. But you don't get to see some of the grassroots items when we're sitting here in the beautiful ESPN studios.
No.
And I'm really pleased that you shared this with us.
Oh, yeah. Even in my spare time, I now serve on the board. So this is obviously a cause I'm very passionate about. And it's easy.
So I don't feel as bad about not giving you so much time
today.
It's
easy to be passionate about something like this. And Chris and I, we share a common goal. We put people into homes.
Right.
We just do it a little bit differently.
And something, and I would suggest, Chris echoed this a little earlier, the idea being that you're putting people into homes, and you're not the transactional realtor. No. You're the realtor that wants to be there, that's helping somebody get their first home, but also get their dream home if it's not their first home. And that's what the beauty of this really is all about, and the sharing that we're doing. And
Absolutely.
I'm really glad that you came in. Again, I'm sorry that we didn't get to spend a lot more time on that, but do go and so being that Brent's had a couple tables at the event, if you want to meet Brent Humpherys, you can either call me, I'll put you in touch with them, or better yet, September 19th, go right to the event, buy a table, and then you can go and see Brent while you're there as well. Chris Megison, thank you for sharing. Thank you for what you do. That's the most important. Be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A very big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. Remember my mantra, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. Have a great day. Talk to you next time. Ron Siegel Radio.